MTP MTP3 layer functions mainly includes these three functions. Let us recapitulate. MTP3 has mainly these three responsibilities. Number one is link management. Link management, as we saw, that the link activation, deactivation, link set activation, and dynamically moving links from one link set to another link set. It happens in the link management functionalities of MTP3. Other is the route management function. This is the new part that we are going to take in this lecture. And then the traffic management function. So in the traffic management section, we saw the changeover process, the change back process for managing the traffic. Now in this section, we are going to take the route management function, in which the STP or signaling point is going to inform other adjacent signaling points about the state of links so that they can modify their routes. Okay, so let's take the route management function. So route management. Okay, so let's take the first procedure, which is called the transfer prohibited procedure. Transfer prohibited procedure. So in this procedure, the STP is going to tell other adjacent STPs that the if suppose one link goes down, and because of that the other STP becomes inaccessible to this STP. Okay, let me take an example here that will make it more clear. So let's suppose there was STP A and there is STP B, and one last link between B to A, it goes down, and now A becomes inaccessible to B. So now B has to inform all other STPs that A is no more accessible via B. Okay, it may be so that the A is accessible via some other route, but if the question comes over B, then it is not routable via B. Okay, so B is going to send the transfer prohibited procedure, or we call it TFP message, to all the adjacent STPs. Okay, so what is that? The TFP will contain the destination code, that is A. Okay, so what it means is that B is not able to, if any message for A comes to B, then B will not be able to transfer that message because A has become inaccessible to it. And when this transfer prohibited message comes to C can perform the changeover procedure that we saw in the link management, in the traffic management section, or it can also do this cascading effect. Okay, it can further transfer the message to E, to F. The same message will be transferred, stating that now A is not accessible via this node. Okay, so this will have a cascading effect. It will just go on in the network till there is a point where it is not transferred. Now when is the point when it is not transferred? Now suppose that at point C there exists some other route from which A is accessible, then C is not going to send the transfer prohibited message further. Okay, if there is no route available, then C has to inform all the adjacent nodes that A is no more accessible via this. Okay, so let us take the format of this message. TFP format. So again, this is a route management function from MTP3 layer, so it has to be encapsulated in MTP2. And let us look at the info part of this MTP2 message. Let us dissect this message. So in the info part, there is SI, there is a routing label, there is header 0, header 1, destination, and the spare bit. Okay, so routing label and service info, this is pretty standard in all MTPs, so I'm not going to take that up. H0 and H1, these are the headers that will identify the type of message. Okay, so here it is. For all the routing related message, it is going to be 0100, and H1 is going to be 0001 for transfer prohibited message, and it is going to be 0010, sorry, 0101. This is for transfer allowed. So just like there is a transfer prohibited, there is transfer allowed message also, and there is transfer restricted message also, that also we'll see further. Transfer restricted. Okay, and then the destination point code, which is actually a point code of the node in question. Okay, so if basically point code of that node which has become inaccessible. Okay, so that point code is here. Now let us look at the other messages, which are called the transfer allowed message and transfer restricted message. Okay, so transfer allowed message is actually transfer allowed message. This is actually reverse of transfer prohibited message. Okay, so let's suppose this is a node, and now this link has come up, and because of this, now A is accessible to B. So B has to inform all the adjacent nodes that A has become accessible via this. Okay, so to do this, B has to send the transfer allowed message for A. So what does this message say? This message says that now any traffic related to A can be transferred via B. Okay, and similarly it will happen on D. Now after receiving this message, C can perform the change back procedure. This procedure we covered in the traffic management section, so I am not going to again cover that. So change back procedure will basically put this link back in the action, and after that it will again forward the message to its own adjacent nodes, and this way it will be percolated to all the network elements. Okay, so it is just opposite to the transfer prohibited message. Then comes the transfer restricted message. Okay, so transfer restricted message is actually a middle path between the prohibited and the allowed. What this means that node is accessible but with a limited capacity. Okay, so let's suppose A is not able to handle that much of traffic, or it just wants very high priority message only, so it does not want to be in path of all the messages. Okay, so then what it can do, it can just send the okay, so let's suppose B wants to restrict traffic towards A, and it wants to inform the adjacent nodes C and D that it should send only minimal traffic to A. So what it will do, B will just send the TFR, transfer restricted message, A to C. So what this means is that C should not send any traffic to A via B, but in case of very high priority or if there is no other route available, then C can send it. Okay, so it's a middle path. Okay, and this message can go to all the adjacent nodes, and this can cascade further. Okay, so let us take the test procedures. Okay, route set and test procedure. Okay, so let us take into account this condition. Okay, so B, because of okay, so B has become because of B has come to know that A has become unavailable. So B will send the transfer restricted message, or sorry, transfer prohibited message to C. Okay, because of this, C will not send any traffic to A, and A has become inaccessible to C also. Okay, now C has to periodically judge that if that prohibited condition is still there. So for that purpose, C will keep on sending the RST message periodically to B to get the status of A. Okay, so it will just periodically keep on sending RST message, that is the signaling route set test message, so that it is abreast of the latest on the route set information about A. Okay, so that's the signaling route set test message, RST. Similarly, so RST is for the prohibited uh, signaling point, and similar to that is the RSR message, which is for the restricted signaling point. Okay, so both these messages are periodically sent by the signaling point to judge the state of the point code. Okay, RSR stands for signaling route and route set test message for restricted destination. Okay, and RST for for prohibited destination. Okay, RSR is for the restricted destination. Let us take the transfer control procedure. transfer control procedure is basically uh, a message to convey the congestion information on a particular signaling point. So when this message is transferred, it basically restricts the amount of traffic which is coming to that particular signaling point. Okay, so let's say A is the point in question and B is going to convey that information to C and D. Okay, so let's suppose B wants to restrict uh, the traffic, more traffic on A because A is congested. Then B is going to send the transfer control procedure, transfer control message on all the adjacent nodes. Okay, and this message will contain the the point code in question. Here it is A, and also it will contain the priority. Priority will be conveyed in the spare bit, and priority will basically convey that any priority which is lower than this priority will not be entertained and will not be transferred to A. Okay, so this is the kind of transfer control procedure which is used in the MTP3 layer. Okay, so let's take the format of this message. The transfer control message is again uh, okay, so that's the MTP2 layer message, and it has the information bit, and this bit contains the MTP3 layer payload, and the payload has the service information, the routing label, the header 0, the header 1, the destination, and spare bits. Okay, so this is a 2-bit of spare bit. Destination point code is 14-bit. Header is 4 bits. 4 bits. Sorry, this H0 is 4-bit. Routing label and SI is common in all the NTP protocols. So here H0 is going to be 0, 0, 1, 1, and H1 is going to be 0, 0, 1, 0. That's for TFC. Destination point code is the point code of the node in question, and the spare bit is going to be used for conveying the priority. Okay, this will convey the priority. Okay, so any priority lower than this will not be entertained. Priority higher than this will be entertained. Now once this has been sent to the adjacent nodes, then there has to be a process to periodically know the status of congestion. Okay, so let's suppose B has sent the congestion, the transfer control procedure to C. Now it has to C has to periodically understand the congestion state on A. So for that purpose, there is a protocol, there is a message which is called RCT message. Okay, so RCT message will be sent periodically to check the state of congestion on A. RCT message will also contain the priority, and that priority will be keep on changing so as to know that exactly what is the level of congestion. So suppose that RCT A procedure, RCT message contains the highest priority, let's say 4, and when this is sent, then the congestion okay, so when the highest first the highest level of RCT is sent, and when it passes through A, then it means that the highest priority is still entertained. So one more priority RCT message is sent with 3, and when that also passes, that means the priority has been changed to 3, and this will just keep on happening till C receives the TFC message. Okay, so let's say at level 2 the RCT does not pass and A sends the TFC message with the priority 2. So with with that information, C can update the priority, update the congestion status. Okay, so RCT message stands for signaling route set congestion test. Okay, so this is basically a congestion test message. So just like RST and RSR, this is also a message which is sent periodically by any signaling point to know the status of all the adjacent links, all the adjacent nodes around it. Okay, but congestion test message is a bit typical here because there are several priorities of congestion, and the node has to judge each and every priority by sending periodically each and every priority message, each and every priority RCT message, till it gets back the transfer control message from the original point. Okay, so let us look at the format of this RCT message. Okay, this message is again MTP2 layer, and it has the information bits. SI, RL, H0, and H1. Okay, so here H0 stands for 0011, and H1 stands for 0001 for RCT. Okay, so that's all for the MTP side actually. This finishes the third functionality of MTP3, that is the route management function.